Good morning, moms and dads, brothers and sisters, alums. 50 years ago, the graduates of this school, the 18-year-olds back then, were graduating into a very tumultuous time for this country. Today, we are blessed to have 4 members of the class of 1972, our Golden Grads, present. Gentlemen, would you please stand up and be recognized? I was going to ask you privately, but did any of you ever back then say, don't trust anybody over 30? Thank you very much. Be careful what you wish for, folks. You live long enough. This fall, as I was teaching my Islamic history class, and Islamic history is a little bit of an arcane subject, I would, as teachers always do, would ask questions of my class. Most often, there was one voice who would answer, and answer very knowledgeably. He knew Islamic history. He knew history. And I told this young man at the end of the class, I think you're going to be the President of the United States someday. I do want to introduce to you this young man. He is our salutatorian. But before I do, I would like Mom and Dad just to give me a wave, because you guys done great. It is my pleasure to introduce the salutatorian of the class of 2022, Asim Whitfield.
Good morning, St. Mary's. Board of Trustees, Mr. Puck, administration, faculty, parents, class of 1972 Golden Graduates, and class of 2022. My name is Asim Whitfield, and I've been chosen to deliver the salutatorian speech. As some of you may know, traditionally, it is the responsibility of the valedictorian to speak to the future, and the responsibility of the salutatorian to speak of our past. In an attempt to avoid a self-centered speech where I only reflect on my past, I asked some of my classmates what I should say to make them feel represented. Mostly I heard iterations of, you better be funny or I'm sleeping through your speech, and keep it short, which definitely came up the most. So for my classmates, I'll try to keep it as short as possible. You're welcome, Sonny. But before I get into my speech, I would like to thank all of you in attendance. I've heard it said that awards have a way of disguising themselves as our own. This diploma represents the hard work and dedication of us students, as well as the hard work and dedication of the people who supported us. The people in our lives who refused to give up on us when we wanted to give up on ourselves, or got supplies for a project at 9:30 p.m. on a Sunday night because it was due the following morning, or worked with you during A Block to make sure that you wouldn't fall behind. You have all had a profound impact on the development of these students that will be graduating, and I feel it is safe to say that I speak on behalf of the whole graduating class of 2022 and thanking you for all that you have invested in us. I was gonna say, you guys should probably clap for yourselves. Flip the page too early. I like to compare our high school experience to a few lines from Dreams and Nightmares by Ryan Meek Williams, better known as Meek Mill. In the 5th line of the first verse, Meek says, "Seen my dreams unfold, nightmares come true." Like Meek and his vision for life, many of us got to see happy visions of high school play out as freshmen. We went to our first football game. The Panthers didn't always come out on top. And now that I think about it, we rarely came out on top. But it was still fun nonetheless. We got our first homecoming, experienced our first day of class, and got to make new friends. We got to live through some pretty cool trends and events like Tide Pods, the rise and fall of 6ix9ine, and Visco, which is our principal's favorite app. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, our sophomore year, the administration was incredibly misinformed on the hydro flasks and threatened suspensions or detentions for anyone who's a Visco girl for Spirit Week. We saw the rise of TikTok, which is like stealing our information, but cool dances and funny videos are a pretty good consolation. We got perhaps the best gospel album of all time from Kanye West like 3 times over the last 4 years. But most importantly, we got to create a great culture on campus. With dances and athletic events, brown bag lunches, celebrating cultures and tradition fairs, back to school movie nights, C-Block, and regular days of school, all inspired by our mission, we built an inclusive and welcoming community, which to me is the most profound aspect of St. Mary's and our Lasallian calling. Being able to see my friends and classmates is what motivated me to go to school and stay connected when we could only meet online. It feels crazy looking back to think of our first day here when I wasn't sure how I would fit in at St. Mary's. Many of my middle school friends went to a different high school, and I was worried about who I would talk to and whether or not I'd be able to actually find people to hang out with. I only knew about 3 people at this school, none of whom were really my friends, which, I don't blame them for. I was kind of obnoxious when I was 14. Feeling anxious, nervous, and confused about what to expect, I walked into my first period of the day. It was Miss Galleon's English 1-2. The class was full of people I had never spoken to before, and I decided to take one of the only available seats behind Ahmad Wanzo in the 3rd or 4th row, not knowing that this would be the decision that changed the trajectory of my high school experience. I sat there planning to keep to myself, grab the syllabus, and make my way to the next class, but about 15 minutes later, Ahmad turns around and cracks a joke that would be the beginning of one of my most meaningful friendships I've made in my time at St. Mary's. That encounter made me realize that if I was going to be here for 4 years, I might as well try and be a part of this community. Along with people like George Rice and Robert Young, who light up a room. George and Robert, you're great athletes, socially aware, and really smart. And Meheret Vasquez Sumala, who is passionate about social justice. Meheret, you're thoughtful, always learning from your classmates and making sure we all have a safe space to learn and grow. And Mallory Bull, who is compassionate, empathetic, and cares deeply about others. Mallory, your service and dedication to celebrating diversity is inspiring. And Sonny Buckner, who is kind and easygoing. Sonny, you are a master code switcher who puts everyone else at ease. Last but not least, there's Vivian Mountain, Amy Crossman. Vivian and Amy, in art, you're magicians, crazy good at design and great in the classroom. I could go on, but remember, I'm keeping it short. Class of 2022, you inspire me. Thank you for helping me get almost everything I dreamed of from my experiences at St. Mary's. When school ground to a screeching halt with the first stay-at-home orders during the pandemic, I came to truly appreciate what being a part of this community really means. Like Meek, we watched nightmares come true before our very eyes. It was a period of great isolation with the future whose uncertainty intensified every day with videos of people hooked up to ventilators in long lines at the grocery store or fighting for toilet paper. That last one is something we've never really addressed from a societal standpoint. I think it's one of the best examples of group thinking. Thank you, epistemology class. Mr. Suffin, Mr. Palladino, where are you guys at? These people, These people were preparing for a complete lockdown and grabbed loads of toilet paper when there was nothing to suggest that there would be a toilet paper shortage. And toilet paper is probably like 4th on my list of household necessities. If it was me personally, I would have stocked up on non-perishables, maybe cases of water, maybe even a backup generator. But that's not the point. When we received stay-at-home orders, class began with the name of classmates popping up on the screen instead of filing into a room. Most of us sat alone at a desk, probably still in pajamas, while teachers were trying hard to get kids to turn on their cameras to confirm their presence, even threatening absences, but to no avail. Classes became lecture-heavy with student interactions in breakout rooms. With COVID trends that were impossible to follow, the goalposts for an environment that was safe enough for in-person instruction kept shifting. These conditions made it exponentially harder for us to stay motivated and learn. But despite all this, we pushed through. That's why graduating is no small feat. Class of 2022, recognize how proud each and every person here is for you to complete such a long and difficult journey. Having worked for over 12 years, 2 during a pandemic that presented challenges that demanded quick adaptation to continue our pursuit of education just for this moment. Bask in the determination, perseverance, patience, hard work, and even sacrifice that embodies itself in the attitudes of every St. Mary's graduate here. That's why I have no doubt that we will succeed in life. I encourage us all to pursue what is most dear to us. Like Albert Camus said, We must learn how to lend ourselves to dreaming when dreams lend themselves to us. Pursue that in which you feel you can make a difference. Pursue that which gives you immense joy. Pursue that which keeps you up at night. That which you think you can't attain because you never know what may happen. Let's lend ourselves to dreaming so our dreams may unfold. And let's not forget to thank all the people who helped us along the way. Thank you.